Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Hey Sister. Hey, sister, how you doing?
Hey, sister, I'm good. Just having internet connectivity issues like you normally experience with Spectrum. Huh. So,
Okay, all right. Well, though, as the world turns, as they say, right? Well, we are so excited tonight because we have two
phenomenally.
So I'm gonna let all of you know right now. This is gonna be comedy all throughout this whole episode because we were preparing for the pre-show. So we're gonna be making jokes all night. It's gonna be look at those gorgeous gold nails in that little glass. I don't know if is that a glass of wine? What's that? Cheers!
Looks
I'm
like a
on
flute.
I'm on sparkly kombucha right now. I know that's so
Oh,
ridiculous,
but it doesn't
but
matter. It's fancy.
I'm having the champagne after because if I start drinking now, this will be on for 4 hours. But kombucha has a little alcohol in it, so I kind of cheat a little. And then you
Oh,
think you're having a cocktail because it's in a champagne flute. Cheers, sisters.
Well,
Cheers.
I
everybody.
like it.
So, welcome. Hey, sister. You see across the bottom, it says like, follow, and share. Please tag your friends. Please share this. Share it on YouTube so that they know that they subscribe to the channel. They can hit that button and always get an alert when we go live. We're super excited. We have two phenomenally fashionable stylists extraordinaires. And there's so many things I can say to describe these women, but we're so happy to have them. We're joined by Miss Katrina Lee Jones and Miss Tania Sterl. Yay! So of Styles by Katrina and Sterl on Style. Listen, this episode is going to be awesome. So Cam is watching. Hey Cam.
Hey, Cam.
So we love Cam. And Cam just did his TikTok video with, he works for the mayor of Baton Rouge. He had on his little suit. And he is a fashion forward young man. And so it's definitely this is a show for him. Like
And let's shout him out also because he just pulled off a surprise for his mother. Her birthday is tomorrow, and he just pulled off a surprise Zoom. She thought she was going to be talking to the mayor, and she ended up talking to her friends. So,
Yes.
but happy birthday, Nishana.
Yeah, shout out Nishana. We also have our super fan Jody is watching. Hey Jody, how you doing tonight?
Hey,
Let's see. We have Live Life Your Way with Noreen Sumter. Hey Noreen, how are you?
Hi, Noreen.
So this must be a friend of yours, right, Tania?
Yeah, she's tuning in not too far from Brooklyn, New York.
All right.
Nice.
Welcome
I like it.
to Hey Sister tonight. So in typical Hey Sister fashion, we start off with hot topics. And as we were planning the hot topics, listen, it's going to be a hot topic. So, but first things first, Georgia, where are you? Is Georgia in the house? Hey, Georgia, early voting begins tomorrow, December 14th, and goes to January 1st. You have to still exercise your civic duty because on January 5th, you are picking two senators. Now, how often do you have both Senate seats that are in a runoff to represent a state, right? Each state only gets two senators, and both of them are up. So, ladies, what do you have to say to the folks that you know in the state of Georgia? Who wants to go first?
Oh, I would just say for me, just vote. I mean, vote like your lives depends on it because it does, and generation after generation. And it doesn't matter if Biden and Harris won. We've already been through this with Obama and Biden when people didn't vote and the other party took the Senate, and it was just a debacle, and it has been a debacle henceforth. So I would say let's get both for sure. If we can do one, I mean, some things can happen. We need to get both just to seal the deal. Seal the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. Because in 2016, I thought all I needed to do was vote for Hillary Clinton and everything else would be okay. And it was my big wake up call to be like, nope, I got to get active at a local level, vote for my House of Reps, my senators, everything. So it's been 4 years in the making. Me and my friends actually mailed out postcards for John Ossoff to like handwritten postcard parties to everyone. And I agree with you, Katrina. Our lives depend on it. We're at that point. And there is a way to go and vote safely, right? Safe distancing, masks. And by going early, you're going to avoid the long lines. My husband and I voted early. We are in the heart of Brooklyn. We are 1 block from the Barclays Center. Huge hotspot for really powerful, peaceful protests, really hot spot. That's where our voting was. We went on a Monday morning in the rain. We were in and out in 10 minutes. So don't think like, oh my gosh, it's not safe to vote. Get out there. Like everyone here said, the work is not over yet. Every vote counts for every Democratic representative.
Yes, absolutely. And so, hey, I'm a registered independent, and I tell people that all the time. So, but what is on the ballot is climate. What is on the ballot is progress in healthcare. What is on the ballot is continued progress for the rights that we often take for granted. So vote. Sister, what say you?
I would say vote. If you have extra funds to donate, please donate to John Ossoff or Reverend Ralph Warnock. I would also say, listen, I'm going to just keep it 100%. When I see Sarah Palin coming out to stomp, when I see Kelly Loeffler, whatever her name is, when I see these women, they do not represent anything that I stand for. And, you know, if like you, they don't represent the things that you stand for. I mean, I don't even understand how you can tell folks to go out and vote in this election, but the results of the other election when they went out and voted before doesn't count. Like, then if it didn't count a few weeks ago, then it shouldn't count this time. So just stay at home, y'all folks. Y'all stay at home. The rest of the folks, please get out there and vote. Yes, yes. Because the rest of us, we need you. We need you to stand up, Georgia. We really do.
We really need you to come through, Georgia. So come on through for us.
Yeah.
Everybody that knows somebody in Georgia, send them a text, send them a message, send them a card in the mail and say, get out and vote. We want you all to be active in our conversation tonight. So make sure you join the conversation in the comments. We already have a couple comments coming in. So we have, I think this is Patricia.
Patricia from LA.
Hey, she said, hey girls, excited to be joining you. Well, we're so excited to have you. Welcome to the Hey Sister family. We have Nashana, the birthday girl, tomorrow. She said, these last 4 years have definitely pushed me to become an active, engaged voter at all levels. Absolutely. Yes. And then Sarah Palin, really?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, they pulled her out. They pulled her out of the closet, dusted her off, and pushed her back out there.
Come on, girl, get in here. Yeah, but we got some more hot topics, and that's how we always start Hey Sister, with some hot topics. And we got 3 doozies for you, and we're gonna try to keep them brief. The first hot topic, if you didn't see it, the daughter of Lori Loughlin and the fashion designer Mossimo, however you say their last name, it's a beautiful Italian name. But you two fashionistas would probably know how to say it better than I. But nonetheless, either way, Olivia Jade made her first appearance, and she appeared on the Red Table Talk, and she wanted to share, she wanted to listen and learn and share, you know, what she's kind of learned so far. Sister, I'm gonna toss it to you first.
Well, I'm gonna start with a drink.
I have some Pellegrino with you, girl. Look at that.
Look, yes. and I'm sipping tea.
So Olivia Jade. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Grammy for being the only one to keep it real at that table. Listen, with all due respect, I recognize that in the case of Jada Pinkett Smith, she and her husband too have done very well for themselves, and they have children that have been raised in the limelight. So I understand their need and desire to want to present an equitable platform to allow people to come and express themselves. However, comma, I just could not do all of the yeah, okay, yeah, like I can't do all that. I need to understand. Listen, I lived in Los Angeles County for 11 years, and I don't even understand, even if you grow up in Beverly Hills and you are insulated, even if everybody in your squad has a college coach, I cannot understand how, you don't know that you all were cheating if you took pictures of yourself on a row machine and you know you ain't never rode a day in your life. I don't understand how you say that your parents never went to college, but yet everybody had college coaches. Obviously not, because obviously your parents didn't have college coaches because they didn't even go. So you can't say that that was just something that everybody did. And then the idea that like she was completely oblivious to poverty, suffering, her privilege. I wouldn't even just say as a white woman, but I would say as a wealthy woman, right? To say you were completely oblivious of that living in Los Angeles County. I mean, go to Santa Monica. There are homeless people there. You know, you can go to pretty much any exit off of the interstate, the 405, the 5, pick one, 101, it doesn't matter. And downtown LA is home of Skid Row, and you were completely oblivious to that, but you knew enough to go to Watts, to go to an after school program and work with the little children in order to absolve yourself of these feelings of your privilege. So who told you about Watts? How did you just stumbled upon that? I don't understand how she suddenly got enlightened. I recognize that she is only 20, 21 years old. As you say, sister, that frontal lobe isn't fully developed. I get it, but I'm not going to be able to just let you off that easy. And I would hope that, I hope we see this goodwill towards men and women and children throughout the rest of the year, and not just because your parents are currently serving jail time. And they ain't even serving no real jail time. My problem also is you have parents who use their mothers and fathers' address so that their kids can go to school in better school districts who served and have served more time than these little funky 60 days or whatever your mama's getting for a whole college scandal. So I like I said, I was with Grammy. I couldn't do it, but and she didn't even want to go to college in the first place. So this idea that, my parents felt like they wanted to do it because they wanted to give us opportunities they never had. No, you said yourself, you only wanted to go for the parties and the football games. You did not want to go to no classes. So you should have kept that space open for somebody who really wanted to go to school.
Well, she said that that's not what she really meant. She sees now how that statement could have been such the height of privilege. I don't know. Miss Tania, what is your perspective on this?
So this is the first I'm hearing of the news, actually, because I went out for like a 4-hour bike ride today. But what I will say is it is a shame that women in Hollywood, women in the public eye, women in that environment, that they do grow up just so insular and so isolated, and their life is just, ooh, look at how perfect my lifestyle is, Instagram or YouTube, what have you. Maybe this is her wake-up call. Maybe thank goodness, finally, this was like a slap in the face wake-up call to get out of her little, her little perfect world, her little sheltered world, her little, mommy and daddy, rich mommy and daddy. I just hope that more, celebrity, more women who use that privilege, that once they get that wake-up call, what are you really going to do with that, right? How are you going to really apply that? How are you really going to change yourself? I had some wake-up calls in this last year. I'm awake. My ears are open. I'm listening. But we have to be willing to pull that veil off and look around us and go, what's really going on right now? What's my part in it? How can I contribute? So it's unfortunate coming from that, rich parents and the sheltered life, but maybe this is her wake-up call. Let's hope. I don't know.
That is such a beautiful viewpoint. Yeah. I'm gonna save mine to the end. Go ahead.
Well, let me say something real quick. It's not just that her parents were rich, because she became an influencer on the internet, and so she was very wealthy herself. And so to me, the going to college was her parents' vicarious dream. It wasn't, she didn't want to do it, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I wonder what she was going to do when she had to return and work and stuff at school. If she didn't want to go, so they were going to pay her way all the way through. So
she didn't go back. She didn't even go back to school after the scandal broke. She was on spring break, and they didn't even touch on the fact that she was on a yacht that belonged to like one of the chancellors or something of USC in the first place.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So she was probably not going to go to class anyway. So that means her parents were paying for her to get in college, and they were actually going to pay for her degree as well. Because if she's already in deep like that, going to, so what? Does she know his kid? Or, I mean, so, hey, people make phone calls, give her C's and nobody will ever know. But I am with Gam on this one, because you could have gone to Kelly Clarkson. Honey, there are a lot of shows that you could have gone to. Why did you have to come to Red Table Talk and talk to the Black women? Girl, we don't want to hear that. And I was with Gam fighting tooth and nail. Why? So that, to me, just like Gam said, that shows the epitome of your white privilege, that you feel like you need to come to us and have a conversation and say, oh, I'm sorry. For what? Girl, you knew your parents were lying. You knew your parents were lying if you in front of a rower. And then what if you would have gotten on the team and taken a scholarship from someone that really needed? And then when you get there, you can't even row. And the people ask you to come on, it's time for practice. You're like, what practice? I'm not doing that.
Well, that is what happened. There was no, that is what happened. Once you got
and it wasn't just her, it was her sister too. So let's not forget about the sister too.
Yeah. Her sister ain't had enough nerve to go on to Red Table Talk. And I'm like, girl, bye. Don't nobody want to hear that. And I'm like, I'm with a whole mood, honey. I'm like, go watch your business, little girl, and get up off this table, because this is not it. No, we don't want to hear that. Because just like she said, they don't give us that privilege. And like I say, Tanya, I met her maybe like a month ago or so. But listen, all these 57%, all these ladies, y'all suspect. I'm looking at all of y'all 5 feet. 55% of y'all voted for 45, and then you want to come, all y'all getting the side eye. Her last one, you getting the side eye. I don't
try. You said that. Don't put that on her. Don't put that on her.
I left the Midwest for a reason, honey. I left. I left like the Midwest for a reason and came to New York City in '94 because.
Listen, already
I have some interesting conversations.
All right, well, we're gonna move on. I'm not even gonna speak on this topic because y'all already know how I feel. Anyway, I'm, and then this is gonna be the last hot topic. I'm gonna save the other man, these are two good ones, and we already deep in the show. I'm just gonna speak on this. Look, coronavirus vaccine hits the street today. The Pfizer manufacturer has gotten it out. UPS, I think, on the West Coast, FedEx on the East Coast, or vice versa, whatever, they're getting out to the hospitals. We know that frontline workers, nursing home residents are the first in the plan. Hopefully your state has a plan, because we know that there is no coordinated federal plan. It's all been like, by state and what the state chooses to do. But I'm gonna save deep talk on this, because I'm gonna come back later in this week and do a special episode on how to read a clinical trial and how to read a package insert so that you can be informed and make the choice. Because see, that's the thing, informed consent. So you can make a choice about the drugs and the vaccines and what you take and what you choose not to take. But what I do know for sure is that if there were not for vaccines, many more of us would not be here. From measles, from mumps, from rubella, from polio, and what have you. I know that vaccines work and they save lives.
Yeah.
But I'm going to check out this clinical data and I'm going to teach you how to do it too.
Sister, I do have to ask really quickly though, because you were just saying it hit the streets. Now, I thought I heard that the folks in the White House are going to get it. And personally, I don't feel like that's very fair, especially since there was so much disbelief in there. And, you know, we was so many times the term hoax and things like that was used. So do you feel like it's fair that they get first dibs?
Well, I have no doubt that I will say this. I suspect that not only the folks in the White House, all of our elected officials at the federal level, as well as our military, probably have already gotten that vaccine today, the first dose. Remember, it's a 2-dose vaccine. I would pretty much guarantee that because of a national security issue.
Yeah.
And so that's what I suspect. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I would suspect. And that would happen without it being a lot of wide public fanfare about it, because in order for your military to be who is deployed around the world, they probably were getting it today and none of us even know about it.
Well, I don't have a problem with them getting the vaccine.
Right.
Military. I really don't. You know, I don't think we should have a problem. But I really wanted to tune into that live because I would like to know more about the vaccine, because right now I'm on the side of no. And I know it was a Black lady that was the head of the vaccine as far as the development and everything. I can't say it's a Kamika or something like that. That was on the head of that team. But I'm on the side of caution with no right now. So,
well, see, this is the good thing, and I'll say this: you are going to be so far down the list in terms of because you're healthy. You haven't had it. You know, I don't think you have any comorbidities that put you in a high risk category.
No.
You're going to be so far down the list. We're going to have a whole lot more data about how the vaccine actually works in the population for people who, some people will have already gotten their second dose by then, as well as we'll know longer if that immunity holds. There's so much more that we're going to learn because, again, this was a new virus. This was something totally novel. We're still in a learning phase. And I think people take that for granted, that there's so much that we don't know that we're still learning. So by the time you would be getting vaccinated, there's going to be so much more information and more data that you can confidently be able to make an informed choice.
Yeah. And I might add, I'm going to hop in here. My husband's actually a firefighter. He's lieutenant of his firehouse in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. So he has to get the vaccine test.
Yeah.
He's been responding to COVID-related cardiac arrest calls. He's been in the heat of it the last few months. Thank goodness he's been tested. Every time it comes back negative. But to your point, Demetria, right? All of us on the call here, all of us on the show, we kind of have that choice. We can do some research and see. My husband's one of the people that doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get vaccinated, and I get to observe firsthand, like, how you doing with that, honey? Like, are there reactions? Like, how
right.
Just like with they need to get the flu shot, right? The first responders each year. So it's interesting. And I asked him, and he's confident with it. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get it because that's what I have to do. Whereas I'm more like, kind of wait and see, right? Let's see who gets tested. Let's see what the reaction responses. But Demetria, I agree with you. Like, vaccines are a part of our history and have helped us over eras and decades of getting over lethal, lethal viruses. So.
Yes, absolutely. And then, so what I would tell people, instead of wait and see, look and see. The information is out there.
Look and see.
Go look for yourself. Because see, people wait to be told by somebody else.
Yeah.
When you should look for yourself. So go look for yourself and then join us later this week. I'm going going to post it and we're going to go live and we're going to break down how to read the difference between side effects versus adverse events and all that stuff. I got to brush off all my years of pharmaceutical industry knowledge and what I used to do professionally. But yeah, I'm going to train you like I used to train reps to do it.
That's good.
Excellent.
So stay tuned.
I will tune
But
in.
anyway, let's talk about styles by Katrina and Sterl on style. We done spent 25 minutes on these hot topics, and we still have one more hot topic, but we might get to it later. But how did you ladies get started in fashion? Let me see, because first of all, do you see how fashionable they are? Like, they just so stylish. I told Katrina she got her head wrap and her shirt matching her glasses frames.
It wasn't
And
plain.
Tania, so both of them typically have, Katrina's hair is wrapped up. They both have like shorted reddish haircuts. They're both very fashion forward women and wardrobe stylists, magnificent people, human beings and energy. And I'm just so happy to have you here. But tell us, how did you get started? I'm gonna start with you, Katrina.
Okay, well, for me, I always believed that it was a gift that I've had, but I've never really recognized it until later in life. I just felt, being stylist was just normal to me. Looking good was normal. Getting yourself together was normal, even for me in middle school. So I've never had an issue or trouble doing that. So, but how I really, really got into my business is when in 2008, because I worked retail for over 20 years and I worked at Neiman Marcus and I was the ladies' shoe salon manager, and the economy went eep. So you know how they say the first one in, the first one out, and that was me. So I got laid off on my job, and I was, have always been in retail. So I decided to start my business just to go for it from there to see. So I was forced into it. I don't really think it would have been something that I would just say, you know what, I'm just going to quit my job and just do my fashion thing or be a stylist and everything. So, personally, I would have never done that. I know me, I would have never done that. So I was forced into it. It was a great force that I really appreciate now, but I definitely did not appreciate it then. Has been a really, up and down having your own business, because a lot of people think having a stylist is not needed, which is so untrue. And think that it's not in their budget, or they say, oh, I can't afford that, or when I get some extra money, I'll do this and I'll do that. And I'm like, that's not always the case either. So for me, that's how I got started. I was forced into it, but it's been a gift that I've always had. So you know how the word tells us our gift will make room for us. So mine made room for me, and I was kicked into it, honey. I wouldn't have done it voluntarily, not at all.
All right. What about you, Tania?
So a little bit similar to Katrina, with it's always been in me, right? Even as a kid, I was always like cutting and dyeing my own hair. I was making my own clothes. I joke I would make 2 Halloween costumes for myself just so I could go out trick-or-treating twice. So I always had fun playing with my own image and taking on, like, I don't know, style is an expression. So it was just playing with my own image. And it was in high school, one of our literature teachers challenged us to write about someone we admire. And I'm a kid of the 90s, kid of the 80s, and then the supermodel era. We all remember Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, and I wrote mine about Linda Evangelista because here she was. She had this long nose, short hair, and in high school I was definitely the odd bird out. Like, I was bullied. People made fun of me. My hair was short. I had no boobs. I was a little tomboyish. Like, so I used style to just be my version, right? To just be my version of the expression of myself, whatever that was. Edgy, fun, playful. And so I kind of didn't really fit in, but I used style to just play with that and express myself. So my mom and dad were cool. They kind of observed what I was doing at home. I learned sewing from my mom, took classes, and they were like, you know what? You're an artist, you're creative, maybe pursue fashion. So before I launched my personal styling business, which I launched in 2013, I was a fashion designer for 18 years. So I'm from humble beginnings in the Midwest, northwest suburbs of Chicago. And I was like, if I'm going to pursue fashion, I either go to Wisconsin and work at Land's End, or I head to New York City and really live out my fashion dream.
Oh my God.
So started out school in the Midwest, but transferred, went to the Fashion Institute of Technology, got here in the 90s, worked my way through fashion design. So I learned fit, fabric, designing collections, worked for some brands in women's wear. And it was the last brand that I worked for that was the turning point. From fashion designer to personal stylist. I was working for a female founded brand. She launched her own company. I was with her every step of the way. We started to do trunk shows. I was dressing that woman live and in person. And I said, that's the game changer. Mm-hmm. The power that fashion can give the woman and give her that confidence when the fit is right, the look is right, the style is right for her, for her lifestyle, for her personality. And that's when I lit up. I loved being behind the scenes in fashion design, but I'm a people person. And I love hearing women's stories. And then how can I paint their picture, but with clothing? Mm-hmm. So 2013, I took the leap. I launched Sterl on Style, personal styling, and it's just grown and haven't looked back. Yeah, it's been really rewarding. To your point, Katrina, it's interesting how you said you're kind of like, almost like forced into it. Is that what you used? And there's this one comedian, he says, oh, do what you love and the money comes. But sometimes it's just do what you're good at. Right? It's kind of like a do what you're good at, and then the rest will come.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. Well, I dropped a question in the comments, so I want you all to answer and get involved in comments. How many of you have worked with a personal stylist? Because I know Katrina brought up a good point about people thinking, oh, it's not within my budget. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, what have you. But you buy clothes anyway, so.
Hey, you buy the wrong clothes anyway. Don't add that, but I'll add it. Don't worry.
Okay. So then tell me, then I'm going to start with Tania this time. Tell me about your most challenging client. You don't have to name names. Unless,
I was just going to say, no naming names here. I'll dive into that just to bouncing off Katrina, what we were talking about, shopping correctly. You waste a lot of time and a lot of money not working with a stylist. We actually save you time and save you money because we know exactly what fits and the vibe and the look and all that good stuff. I will say it's kind of a more vulnerable story with my most challenging client. In the 8 years that I've been doing this, there's only 1 or 2 clients that I haven't been able to kind of get that transformation from the outside in, right? So as personal stylists, we can sense maybe where they're holding back, or they're not comfortable in their bodies, or they're just, some of them are like, well, I don't like being in the limelight, or I'm more comfortable kind of hiding. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as hiding. Unless you never leave your house and never go in, there's no such thing as hiding, right? You are going to be visible at points in your life, your job, your career, etc. So to your point, my most challenging client, I usually, when I get them in that fitting room and we're styling them and they get warmed up and they're like, oh, I'll never wear prints. All of a sudden they're wearing prints. Oh, I don't wear dresses. All of a sudden they're wearing dresses. I did have one client, no matter how much I worked with her, different color, different jacket, she'd look in the mirror and she'd turn around and she kept looking at this one part in her body. She kept looking down, the hips and the belly are a little too curvy for her, She kept turning around. And right, we as women, I don't know if you've experienced this, Katrina, but I feel like when women look in the mirror, instead of looking at what we love, we look at the area that we're like, oh no.
Right.
What's wrong with the legs or the tummy or the thighs, or my smile is crooked or what have you. It's unfortunate that women look in the mirror and only look at that part that they want to downplay or they don't. So I did have this one client that, like, halfway through, she said, you know what, Tanya, I'm so sorry. I thought I was ready for something like this, and I'm not. Not comfortable in my body. I think I want to, work on that a little more, maybe work with a nutritionist and I'm talking, this is like, by all means, it's all about accepting your body where you're at. It's all about working with you. I work with clients from, my goodness, 4'10" and a size 00 to like 5'2", what have you, and everything in between, right? I work with all sizes. But now I'm sensitive to that, and I'm conscientious. So when I'm on a consultation call, I like to ask them where they're at. Hey, how comfortable are you in your body right now? Are you at a good spot? It's unfortunate. Most women say, oh, if I were only 5 pounds or 10 pounds or 5 to 10 pounds, honey, we can work with that. Like, you're going to fluctuate 5 to 10 pounds depending on the time of the month, right? Or if you're past that, that's another story too. But now I'm sensitive to that. And if women are really like, you know what, my health is at stake here. I just talked to a recent client. She said, you know what, Tanya, my health is at stake and I do have to take care of my body. I'm working with a nutritionist. So now I ask, oh, what are your goals for your body? Do you feel good in it? Do you feel healthy? But if they're like, oh, I don't feel healthy. I ask, do you have support with that? And then I can draw from the women in my network. I work with a brilliant nutritionist. I work with a brilliant, I was going to say physical therapist, but personal trainer. So it's about learning to love and accept the body you're in. But my most challenging client, no matter what I put on top, she didn't feel comfortable in her body, which was fine. She needed to do a different kind of work, But in the 8 years, that was one of my most challenging. I was so happy I could hold the space for her because I've had success stories in that respect, getting women to love their bodies once they see the right cut and angle and color, no matter what their shape or size. But that was one of my most challenging. Yeah.
That's really deep. I don't know, sister, you got to follow up to that. We're going to toss it to Katrina after, because that was deep right there.
No, I mean, it was. I was going to let Katrina answer because Katrina already knows that I have those issues too. And, we've had those conversations.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say that is a challenge for me. I don't know. I haven't had that one client yet that's really frazzled me. I just haven't had that because I always go in with truth and honesty and love as well. And I tell my clients, I would tell Christina, it's like, listen, we cannot be so critical of ourselves that you can't even see if you have a nice bottom or if your boobs are perfect, because everybody always wants something that someone else has. I'm most definitely learning that. And I've learned that even from a young age. So I haven't really had a client that's really, really been challenging, because I always tell people it's just funny when I have my clients, I talk to them, we do our consultation, I get to know them. And it's almost kind of like I dream about them before I go shopping. And that's why that's why I pre-shop for a lot of my clients. It's like, listen, you pay me by the hour, and I'm not the most expensive person. I'm not the most cheap, inexpensive person either. But I think I should value your time and already select some things for you before, because it just kind of defeat the purpose of us shopping together unless I have my preteens and maybe like some 21-year-olds that are transitioning. I like to go shopping with them, not to do a whole lot of pre-shopping, because I want to give them some life skills. So when they don't have me to shop with when they're in college or something like that, I just want to give them life skills. So that's when I do a whole thing shopping. But I really haven't had a person that's really challenging, because I love all of my clients, and I always tell them, you just need to be ready for me. Not necessarily vice versa, because I'm ready for you. You just need to be ready for me. You need to be ready for that change in your life, and you need to be ready to put yourself first. regardless of what other people are doing. You have to put yourself first at some point in your life. So that's what I really tell them. So I haven't had one of those yet.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that stylist as a life coach, because that's something that both of you, I've talked to both of you separately, and I have worked with you, obviously, personally, Katrina, and you worked with everybody in this household that I live in. So,
yeah.
But, Tania was talking about, hey, there was some deeper issues there. And so, I'm sure because when you're working with a personal stylist, it's a very intimate process.
Very intimate.
It's a very intimate process. So Katrina, tell us about your experience as also when you are in your life coaching mode, because sometimes you switch into a whole life coaching mode. And,
I do. But I don't know if it's life coach. I'm going to leave that to you.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave that. I'm just going to leave that to you because you have a different set of skills when it comes to that I don't have. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, we're just going to leave that there. So I wouldn't necessarily say as a life coach, I think what happens with me is when I connect with my clients, I just want to get to know them and see what their, spirit is saying for me. Because people can say things to you verbally, but they could be feeling another way inside. So that's what I really like to do, to connect with them on that level, because I'm all up in the underwear, all up in your personal space and, all these things. So first I want that trust first. And we just kind of start having conversations about life. And I just really just kind of help you not to be so critical of yourself and and sometimes, say things to you that you just said about yourself and you look at me funny. I'm like, well, you just said it. So, that's how you sound talking about yourself. So I don't necessarily say as a life coach, I just really like to get to know my clients. And I tell them, when you have me for life. I am a text away. If you shopping and you want to get my opinion before you purchase it, please text me, because I don't need you telling people you have a stylist and you look a mess. Especially not telling you have one and then throw my name out there. And they're gonna be like, I don't want her because you look a mess. And so that's what I think too. So I just love on them. I coach them up. I love them from the inside out. And, that's just really what I do. And I think that's probably why I have a connection and have so many repeat clients. And then they refer me out to people. And I mean, both Christina and Demetra, are my clients. But Demetra and I hadn't worked together in a while, and Christina and I haven't either. But when we do, they know I'm about business. I love them as my sisters, but they know when it comes to that, I'm like, listen, we're not doing that. They're like, we're not doing that. Sister friend is put down now. This is a client,
a professional relationship
right here. We're not doing that. You're not paying me for that today, okay? And they know that too, and they respect me in that way as well, and I respect them as well.
What about you, Tania? I love how you said that. That was good.
Yeah, and to Katrina's point, that's what you're paying her for. You want your stylist to be able to say to you if something's working or not working. She's, like you said, Katrina, your name is also attached to that, but you want the best for the client. So I've had to say that to some of my clients too. I said, okay, I'm going to be getting a little tough on you because that's what you're paying me for. I'm not that, right? And as stylists, like if someone's just going to go shop at a store, right? They're at the hands of that salesperson. Now, not to say you can't get lucky and find that person, that salesperson who's going to ask the right questions, get to know you. But there's some salespeople who are salespeople and they're just going to sell you. But I will go and I will overhear the conversations of certain salespeople. And I just want to interrupt them and be like, will you please? I've actually stepped in sometimes. Oh, wouldn't it be better if it was a little bit this or that or the fit? But to your point, Katrina, it is our job as personal stylists to hold that space for our clients and guide them. So before I shop with a client, before I look at her wardrobe, I do get to know them as well. It's asking them what their current role is, meaning where do they work, or are they interviewing? What's that dream job? Or did they just publish a book and now they gotta write like this? Showtime. Now they have to market themselves, show up on all sorts of social media. So I want to get to know what their lifestyle is. Then I go and I'm like, hey, what are some future goals? What are some desires of yours? Like what's brewing in you that you haven't, right? That you need to dress for, and dress in a way that's going to manifest more of what you want.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's getting to know the client. It's painting that picture of her lifestyle, but I'm a very like goal driven stylist. I'm like, okay, what's the job you want? How much money you want to make? Okay. How are we going to dress you in a way that's going to attract that ideal job? Who's your ideal partner? Describe him or her. How are you going to show up? How are you going to dress in a way that's going to attract that ideal partner? I had, and in that way, I think that's kind of where the life coaching gets injected in. And it is from the inside out. I had one client who was miserable at her job, the only woman in an all corporate office, all men, corporate. She ran that place, right? Like they would not be getting by without her in her position. They said, you know what, Tania? I love salsa music, DJing on the weekend, and I love interior design and real estate. And I was like, let's do this. Open the wardrobe, all black, navy, charcoal clothing, right? Because she worked in corporate. And I was like, then the other half of the wardrobe, right? Her beautiful print tops, because that's what she wore on the weekends when she was at a friend's party. Or so I said, let's combine that. Start wearing some color and print to work so you can start feeling like you again. Within a year, she had quit the job, gone into her real estate, launched the interior design business, and she was inviting me to her wedding. Her fiance, she met within this year of us working together, met him at the local restaurant that she goes to all the time. But there was just that one night, she had that pretty blouse on. She felt like she was coming out of her shell. The new clothing energized her. You know, she turned his head and he knew what he was looking at. And he actually asked me my advice on the ring he was going to give her. And I was like, oh my gosh. He met me in the store when we were shoe shopping, when she was at the counter. I was like, you can't show me the ring. She's right there. But anyway, I hear you, Katrina. It's about getting to know our clients' lifestyles, their desires, their goals, to your point, their dreams, because right, we have this one life to live. Celebrate ourselves through style. You don't know what can happen unless you put that effort in, show up in that beautiful print or blouse or dress. And it's our job to dare you to wear a little something new. Step out of your comfort zone. Step it up. Step into your style. Step into your life. You know, it really is.
We have
be life-changing.
A comment here say, I have never worked with a stylist, but I'm also not sure that I can afford one. Now, at the top, the lady said, you can't afford not to because you waste a lot of time and money not working with a stylist. Tell us a little bit more about that, about how you actually help your clients save time and money. I'll go to you first on this one, Tania.
Yeah, so to Katrina's point, a good stylist, we research beforehand. And I'm very strategic. Like, I'm very creative and very intuitive, but I'm also very strategic. So this is about shopping your closet first. As a stylist, we're going to go in there and be like, all right, based on your lifestyle, based on your desires, based on your goals. Okay, now we have that lens. Let's shop your closet first. What are those nuggets, especially lately, right? Zoom tops. It's all about what we're wearing from the waist up. How many virtual styling sessions I've done, and I say, okay, I want you to get all your tops ready in colors. And they go, oh, color? You mean like black, navy, gray? I'm like, no, colors. I don't want to see black, navy, gray. I want to see your tops that are in colors. Let me see reds, purples, pinks, blues, teals. So some of my clients, I was able to style them for their, Zoom tops and networking. right from their closets. I would just line up 5 to 7 colorful blouses with matching necklaces and be like, you're just going to line those up one after the other. Wear them every time. You have to show up on a networking call, show up to work, show up for that interview, right? Done and ready. Shop the closet first. Then we can be strategic. Now we know what's missing.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing that because we were doing that in the pre-show, right, Tanya? You were like,
yes.
No necklace.
After.
Yeah.
Before.
I love it.
Shop your closet first. There's probably nuggets in there. And I love doing, oh, I forgot I had that blouse. Oh, I forgot I had that dress. Oh, that looks good on Zoom, right? It's like, honey, it was right in your closet.
Yeah.
But because we've been in lockdown, because we've been in survivor mode, because we've been, behind the scenes, a lot of us are just, getting away with wearing our pajamas, our sweatpants, our yoga gear. But this is 9 months later. This is the new normal. And dressing well is a feel good. So sorry, I'm going off on the tangent. The point is,
that's awesome.
We save you time and money because we get to know what's in your closet first. This way, I'm very strategic. It's about, okay, seasonal, 4 times a year, looking at the closet. What are the top 5 to 10 items you could bring into your wardrobe that are going to make you happy, work with what you got, work with your budget. And it's not about going out and buying a whole new wardrobe all at once. It's about being strategic. This way, I do a shop list. I know I'm a little OCD and organized in that way. But I'm like, all right, 3 colorful blouses, a great booty, 3 necklaces, boom, a great fun jacket, maybe a new bomber, 5 to 10 items, name your budget, name your price. And I get as excited getting my clients something on sale as if it's for me. And they're like, Tanya, I want to get 10 items. I want to pay less than $1,000. Go. I end up getting half the shit on sale and they end up spending half that. So it's about shopping your closet first, identifying what's missing, being strategic, and then we're doing the easy work. We're getting to the store without you and getting it all pulled and ready. So that's my approach.
I love that. And so we did the little on and off with the necklace. Let's do the glasses too. Let's show people about that. So we have with the glasses, without the glasses, because we all put our glasses on.
And then take mine off.
And then you change your frame.
Or with the terrible, see, these are just like I just need to.
I don't have my extra glasses over here, so I can't change.
These are I just need to be able to see my iPhone, like when I'm watching TV and kind of doing this, because I only need them for near. But like, if you're going to be showing up for stuff like this, your YouTube videos, your how-to videos, your Instagram, your marketing, I mean, your image is your marketing tool on LinkedIn, Facebook. If you're looking for a job, if you're looking to connect, if you're looking to network, wear these glasses and people are going to be like, who are you? That's how I met you, Demetria. I met you on an online networking event.
On online networking.
It was so fabulous. Your glasses were fun. You were wearing color. I said, you know what? I want to meet her. She's taking herself seriously. She's showing up fun and fabulous. I want to know her. And then Demetria was like, you know what, Tanya? You need to meet Katrina. And then I see Katrina's picture on LinkedIn with your fabulous bright red hair. And I said, yes, I need to know who Katrina is. So it's like using our style to communicate and connect. And people are going to notice you. If you got those fabulous frames on that networking event, people are going to be like, I need to know who she is. Use it as a
Oh, well, I'm ready, honey. I receive that. Yes, honey, I receive that. My fabulous glasses.
Love your glasses, Katrina. Outrageous.
Well, I love that. So we had what is the average cost of a stylist, paid by the hour? How does it work? But I love that you talked about first shopping your closet. I know that Katrina did that with me because there are obviously, and that's helped so much with the purging process, but you don't really have to purge everything if it still works for you, right? if it works. So I know you're really big on that. So Tiffany also said, I definitely like the idea of not having to shop for myself. So, and so I don't like to shop either. And Katrina knows I don't like to shop. So tell them a little bit about the first time you took me out, what that was like. And then, you know, and I don't have an exorbitant budget either, but
No.
yeah, but
Right.
we were able to get a lot with a little. So tell them about, you know, me.
Yeah,
I probably am your most challenging client, I would say. So
No, you're not. I don't consider any of my clients challenging. I love you all. It's just your personality, and I accept you for who you are, and I do my best with you all. So I don't consider really anybody a challenge. I mean, you would know if I did. You might be unfortunate if you did, but you probably would know. And for you, I shop within a budget. I always tell people I work retail for over 20 years. So I'm a savvy shopper just from being in retail. And I tell people rewards, coupons, I'm all with it. And Demetria knows that, and Christina knows. And I use my own sometimes because that's what I value my clients that much, and I value me saving them money. So if I have some, I'll use them. If I'm not, I'm like, yeah, listen, I have these, let's go use them and let's go do this. And I believe for you were in the grays and the blacks and the boring and the more boring. I was like, oh my God, this is just not working. And it's like, what is this? How could she be so vibrant with this wardrobe? Oh my God. She's killing me. And her husband knew it too. So anyway, shout out to him because he gifted me to her. First of all, so that was that, and my shopping experience with her was, I think it was awesome. We really eased into it. We went in with a budget in mind. I kind of pushed her towards like, let's kind of do some color. I didn't like, you got to wear pink or you got to wear bold red or anything like that. It was most definitely an elevation, for her. So even now, and that's what I do. I do my clients in stages. I don't push them to really, really high end things. I push them to really quality things to let them see the difference first. And then we ease into, more splurge items, and I'll introduce them to some of my favorite designers that I know that will last them for, 10 to 12 years. So our first shopping experience was really fun. It was really exciting. We got that closet together at her home first. We did all those edits like the girls now that do the home edits on Netflix and stuff. I tell people that's what I do first. I tell my clients, listen, it does not make any sense for us to go shopping. And if we spend $1,000, if we spend $500, we spend $2,000, and you have to come bring back all of those beautiful clothing back into that mess that you have, it's going to kind of get mixed in, and you're not going to be able to see it. So with my clients, I start in those closets first, period. And I let them know this is what we need to do. And to Jody's question, for some clients, you can come up with packages. Or you can do, hourly rates as well. Because when somebody has a really, really big job, you may want to, do a package deal for them so it won't be so overwhelming. Because I know from experience, closet organization will sometimes takes between 6 to 8 hours.
Yep.
Or it could take a couple of days where you're going to spend 8 hours one day and 8 hours the next day. And it could be a 16-hour job, in which I just had that about a month ago, where it took me 16 hours to get this closet done. And it was a clean slate, and it still took me 16 hours. Mm-hmm. So, so it just really depends on it. But I think that if you want to save money in the long run, you should invest. It all comes back to investing in yourself. So our first shopping experience was awesome. We had a really good time. I thought she enjoyed me because then I, dressed her husband. Then I had her son, and her daughter and I have a kindred relationship anyway. So it's not like I don't dress her, but she kind of wants my opinion and things like that. So our relationship is most definitely different. In a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, sister, you've been quiet. I know you have. I know you have some questions too to throw in, and we have a few more questions. So we're gonna go a little bit over the hour. Like I said, we spend so much time on the hot topics, and
I mean, I think we knew we would go over the hour anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, but no, I think what Katrina said is exactly where I was about to go. It's really about being okay with investing in yourself, because when it comes to clothes, and I'll just speak personally, when it comes to clothes, for me, in my workplace, when we were still going outside and going to an office and things of that nature, you know, folks come up in there with shorts and flip-flops on, and so the dress code runs the gamut. So there are times when I feel like, well, why am I going to spend all this money on clothes? For lack of better words, I'm like, they don't deserve my best. Okay.
You deserve your best. It don't matter what they do. You deserve your best.
It's true. But you know, girl, the folks, you know, I always say they know when, and this has been my experience from other jobs as well. Folks know when you're going on a job interview, when you show up with a suit on or dress a certain way, and you never dress like that. That's why I dress always well, because you're never going to know if I'm looking for another job.
Right.
But
basically what you're saying is the people at your work, they've been doing the COVID dress code forever.
Oh, yeah. Before there was a COVID, they were dressing like that. They were coming to work any kind of way.
Wait,
and
t-shirt, dirty tees,
anything. But what I will ask is, so you all said shop your closet first. Right now, I'm in a situation where my closet is a mess. I have been gaining weight, fluctuating weight for years now. And I just want to know, when do you let certain things go? Because, you know, in our minds, it's always like, but I'm going to get back into this. You know, I'm going to just get on that treadmill. I'm going to run a little bit longer, faster, harder. I'm going to get back into these slacks one day. So when do you just say, enough is enough, let it go, sis?
You know, it's very difficult for people to let things go, especially clothing. Some clothing has, you know, sentimental value. Some clothes bring you joy even when you can't wear them, you know. So I think that for the last year, you kind of know how your weight fluctuates. You know, just like Tanya said, like all of us usually fluctuate between 5 to 10 pounds. I think that's normal. So I think if it's something that you know is passed between those 5 and 10 pounds, I think you just need to gracefully find somebody that you know that can wear it if you don't want to donate it. So that means if you have a sorority sister, if you have a close friend that you know you have all these 10 pants, and you know you've been fluctuating between a 12 and a 14 for the last year, you're probably not going to get back into those 10 pants. And if you do, that's great. That means you can probably go shopping for those, but give yourself 6 months to be in that 10 pants before you start to go influx buying, you know, those sizes, either up or down. You know, but it is very difficult for people to get rid of clothing. I always say, if it's not a classic piece, if it's something that's trendy, because trends go in and out. And you all know me, I'm more of a classic type of girl, because, you know, I've been in some hardships where I have not had any money to shop. And people will be like, oh my God, listen, I had these clothes for 5-10 years, honey. And that is just the way that I wear them. And it's just the way that I mix and match them. But it's also when I invest in the pieces that I purchase. So it's difficult to get rid of things. But if you haven't worn something in, I would say maybe like a year and a half, because sometimes you have a really nice jacket that you hadn't worn in a year, you might need to keep that, you know. So that's where your stylist will come in to help you say, okay, well, you need to throw that away. You need to put this in a box. You need to donate this. You need to just trash that. So I think that's when you have a stylist, it helps you to edit and purge those pieces, because you're not going to be able to do it by yourself, because you may throw away a jacket that you can wear 10 years from now. And you may see that jacket come back in style and it's $550 and you just gave it away. And you're like, why did I give that away? Because you didn't have any help.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have anybody to give you some wisdom on what you need to keep and what you need to throw away. And and again, that's where stylist comes in and saves you money.
Mm-hmm. Tanya, what do you have to say on that topic?
Yeah, I agree with Katrina. It is hard for people to let go clothing, sentimental value, or that aspirational size.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when? And I think it's also our job as stylists, especially I work with all women. I don't style men's. And like, if only someone would have told us in our 20s, your size is going to change. In your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, 60s, 70s, our sizes are going to change.
Yeah.
Our bodies are going to change. I always say it's the 4 H's: your hormones, your health, your happiness, and your heredity, right? Let's look at mom and dad and like how their figures and bodies change. Anywho, so it's about accepting where you're at. But in terms of streamlining that wardrobe, you don't want stuff in there that doesn't fit you now. You don't want things in there that, oh, someone gave this to me as a gift and I'll never wear it, but it's so ugly, I'm not going to, but I just have to hold on to it, right? So there's some questions you can kind of ask yourself as you go through. I like to play what I call love it or leave it. When I'm in a client's wardrobe, and maybe they loved it then, but not now. And if they don't, leave it behind. For my clients who do fluctuate sizes, I tell them, let's curate your wardrobe. The size that fits you now, we're putting that front and center. Because they're like, you know what, that next size down, I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna get on that in 6 months. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. We'll fold it or store it, but let's keep the size that fits you now or the next one up. Let's keep that in the immediate view. This way, every time you open your wardrobe, it's not like how many times you open the wardrobe and you grab in the pants that you hope fit, but they don't. You're trying to get them on and put them on and squeeze yourself in. You're causing yourself aggravation. It's upsetting. So get the sizes that don't fit you now, get those out of the way. Keep the sizes that fit you now front and center. And hey, if something happens, sometimes women, right? I've worked with women, they had surgery on their foot. They can't work out for a year. So they went up a size. Fine. That's your size for that year while you're recovering, while you can't wear your heels. It's okay. Work with what you got. So I agree. It's about culling out what doesn't belong there. So when you open those closet doors, just imagine, oh my God, open this, it brings me joy, it suits my lifestyle, it fits my body. This way you're like not weighed down with the stuff there that's outdated or boring or sad or too tight or too big and loose, because that's what you wore when you were pregnant, but now it's a year later and we're dressing a new body. So it's a huge relief to streamline that wardrobe. Yeah. Only what you're going to wear now and what fits now.
I love that. I was going to say, this young lady said Tania is so efficient.
Oh, Shane. Hi, Shane. Shane goes from New York City.
Yes. And then this young lady says, Katrina doesn't let you hold on to stuff. I have another comment here, though. This is really serious. And you talked about healthcare. We got a couple more of another question after this. I wear scrubs every day and I'm limited to navy blue and black. So Sterl, how can I bring those colors and the scrubs to life? Like with the scrubs that she have, how can she bring it to life?
Is that the only colors that she can wear?
Yes.
Oh, she can't wear printed ones either. She can't wear printed navy or black. And what about her shoes?
Okay. So Tiffany, you got more questions to answer in the comments. We're going to go to the next one.
It says she can have fun in her shoes.
And this we said, how should we be managing our client closets during the pandemic? Leave it as is. Oh, I don't know what happened with Sissy. So we had talked about this, right? That's what this whole show is about styling forward. How do we bounce back from this pandemic? So we have been, like you said, party from the waist up, business business up top, party downstairs. It's been, a lot of.
It's been a party downstairs for some people, for real.
It's been a lot of what's slippers. Oh well, don't talk about that. But anyway, I just caught that comment.
Hey, style and self-care. We're talking hair, makeup. We're talking how to take care of ourselves.
but yeah. So how do we bounce back? How do we, should we be leaving our closets right as they are, or doing something different now during this pandemic?
Yeah, I think for Latasha's question, I think we need to. Right now, for me personally, I think we need to leave it as it is if it's already organized. If it's not organized, I think that this is the time that you should do it. Because first of all, you're not really spending that much money buying new clothing for people who live in different climates. You're not going out to really buy any new clothes because you haven't even worn the ones you bought to wear for the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
If you live in a warmer climate, then that means all those summer clothes that you were buying in spring, summer, you can wear them now. I mean, I'd be different for cooler climates, but the stuff that you bought last year that we went into March, you really didn't get a chance to wear them. So you need to wear those now. You can wear those now. So right now, there's really no point in going out and buying new wardrobes unless you've had weight loss surgery or something like that and you really can't wear anything, or you've been ill and you lost a lot of weight or gained a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm. And that's been something that's happened they've talked about the COVID-19, or even people who have had the illness and the amount of weight that they've lost.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It fluctuates. But right now, I really do think people should organize their closet. You just should do it. And I always say, if you can't hire anybody to do it, I think you need to take one part of your closet at a time. Don't get in there and want to do everything, because you will get overwhelmed. And you know what you're going to do when you get overwhelmed? You're going to stop. And then it's going to be more of a mess than what you started. So I think that you should take it one step at a time. But I think personally, you should leave it as it is if it's already organized. But if it's not, you need to start organizing, clean it out, and just purging some items yourself. And if you can't, you got 2 stylists right here. Call us.
Yes. Go ahead, Tanya.
Where are you, Katrina?
I'm in Orlando.
That's right. You're Orlando, Florida, New York City. So you got you got the areas covered. So yeah, to your point, even for me as a personal stylist, when COVID hit in March, I was like, oh my gosh, half of my closet has become irrelevant. I have so many cute, stylish statement pieces, this, that, and the other. So even I went in and recurated my own closet, because I realized you got to ask yourself, what's my lifestyle now? What am I dressed in for? Then you can look through that closet and wardrobe in a different lens. Are you full-time mom managing the kids in the household? Okay, that lifestyle dictates a certain type of clothes. Get the stiff or uncomfortable or fancy stuff out of your immediate view. Doesn't mean you still got to have some cute and stylish, right? Like bomber jackets and velvet leggings, and you can still have it be fun, but carve out so that on that daily basis, you're not opening that wardrobe and being like, oh my gosh, this is a mess. Do you need to ask yourself, do you need to be dressing for work? Is it only on the phone and no one's seeing you? Or, do you have to show up on video and Zoom calls? To Katrina's point, devote that section of your closet, make more with less, and be like, okay, what are the 5 to 10 tops in rotation when I have to show up for work, right? Whether it's a blouse, a dress, a jacket, what have you. And when outdoor dining opened up again and the weather was nice, it was like, oh my gosh, going to brunch or getting to go out and have a, little outdoor dining drink. That's when it's get from the closet, something that's a little more cute or fun or stylish. I mean, I've been doing like virtual happy hours on a Friday night and we dress up cute and styling. We put our lipstick on. So I think it's looking at your lifestyle in that different way, asking yourself, what do I need to dress for? Work, taking care of the kids, but like have a reason to dress up again too. Don't just be like, oh, it's just my household. Your household is your job. It's your office. It's school. It can also be your dance floor. It can also be your workout studio, right? So organize it in a way that talks your lifestyle, but make more with less. Get stuff out of the way so when you open it, it's just relevant to your lifestyle now.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, making more with less. So Tiffany came back and she said she can't wear prints, but normally I wear a solid color undershirt that matches my tennis shoes or her sneakers. So she's really limited. She's a nurse, and so that it's a little bit limited. So
but to Katrina's point, Katrina was saying like, but how can you mix it up? Like what kind of tennis shoes? Maybe you need tennis shoes with like a little sparkle on them. And no one knows what's going on underneath. Wear a sexy bra underneath, just for you.
Yeah, and start wearing some fun socks. I mean, because there's so many socks out there that she can't really do anything about her uniform. Uh-huh. So I would say just start wearing some really nice sneakers and wear some fun socks. And when she
maybe
can look down,
maybe she can do a good a multicolored lanyard or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm writing funky socks, sexy undergarments. That sounds like
sexy undergarments is kind of fun because then it's your.
So you hating on my lanyard idea? Okay, got it.
But it sounds like Tiffany just needs to contact Katrina and. So Tiffany,
she's in the South, right? Where she's
in the Texas area, in Dallas, Texas area. So
Tiffany, just work with Katrina. That's the answer to your question.
Yeah. I am ready, honey, because Tania introduced me to this new software that has been working well for me. And I'm like, girl, you just streamline my life, honey. You just don't need
Imagine having, all right, everyone listening here, especially you, Tiffany, because Katrina's going to hook this up for you. Imagine having your entire lookbook accessible on your phone.
On your phone.
That's what we do as stylists. Bam.
Bam.
You don't look in your closet, you look at your lookbook.
Yeah.
What's Katrina told me to wear? Oh, I just got to look at my lookbook.
That's what Christina need to call me too when she's ready.
I'm ready for you to fly to Arizona, but I'm trying to keep you out of the COVID.
Oh, there we go.
Bam. Bam. Right?
Yeah.
This is the future of shopping and styling.
I'm telling you,
everyone on this call.
Amazing.
Katrina and I are bringing the future to you now.
Well, Tiffany said she's ready. And then maybe she'll get a boo too. So Tanya had success with the boo thing.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, I ain't meet my husband at no restaurant yet.
So Katrina, you work with Tanya, and then Tiffany go work with you. That's how it goes.
Like the picture talking about, I'm looking cute today. I said, shoot, I haven't been going too far now because I'm staying in my little bubble. But I'm like, I ain't meet him yet.
Uh-huh. Well, Tanya has a track record, so if you need to meet a man at the restaurant based on how you dress.
And Katrina, I love knowing that you're the woman behind Demetria's pop high contrast colors. Because Demetria, every time I see you on LinkedIn, it's like color with color with color.
Yeah, she look good.
Katrina's the one behind that.
She look good because of me, but she don't though.
Oh, look, we don't have time for this right now. We're gonna save this for the after show because I'm gonna handle her in the after show because that's a dirty dog life.
You may be a little bit, but you don't do as much as you should. Now stop it.
Girl.
Don't do that.
This is what we call life coaching.
Yeah. No, ma'am.
Now,
Christina,
Yes.
Christina ain't got nothing to do with that.
Tina, let her know. You need to tell your friend, Mag.
Tell me.
I rep for you all the time. Don't even go there. Don't you even.
Thank you.
And why you think I connected you with Tanya? I'm trying. It's all about expanding our networks.
I guess I missed all of that because I didn't think that's what she was saying. I thought she was saying that you needed to still do some more. That you were still.
She said, I
said enough. I said enough.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Enough.
Well, can I ask another question though?
Girl, ask your question.
Go ahead.
So, okay. So if you get to the point where, you've hired a stylist, I personally still don't know what my style is, but you've hired a stylist, you're shopping your closet, you figured out your size and all of that stuff. What would you say, and I want each of you to answer, what would you tell somebody to invest in? If it was only one thing that they could invest in, what is that one thing they should invest in? So Katrina first and then Tanya.
Can I clarify that? How are you defining
How you gonna clarify?
I just want to know how you define
your question.
How are you defining invest? Is it a certain dollar amount or whatever or what? Yeah.
Yeah, well, it depends on, money is relative, but if you make $30,000 a year and when is it okay to spend $300? And then that could be, if you make $1 million a year, is it okay to spend $100,000? However, when is it okay to purchase that investment piece?
Well, for me,
and what is it? That's what I really wanted to know. What is the investment piece?
Well, it depends. It depends. Some women.
You have to pick one thing that you would tell a client to invest in.
Oh, well, okay. So one thing to tell her to invest in when her wardrobe is set. See, that's the thing. I guess maybe if her wardrobe is set and she has all of her essentials, then I would tell a client to invest in a really nice handbag.
Okay.
If her wardrobe is set.
Yes, I'm assuming, and that's why I say you got your stylist, you're organized, you got all that other things.
I will tell her to invest in a nice handbag. You know why? Because with that wardrobe being set and she invests in a nice handbag, it doesn't matter what she puts on. If her stylist has her where she needs to be, that handbag is just going to elevate her even the more. Okay. You know what I mean? It's going to elevate her even the more because you can invest in a nice pair of shoes, but you can't wear those shoes every day because you're going to wear them down to the ground. I don't care if they cost $2,000, $3,000, you would wear them down. But invest in a nice handbag and keeping her lovely and keeping her polished, you can wear that. You can carry that handbag for years to come, and it'll still be beautiful. Because if it's an investment, that leather is coming from a whole new part of the animal. I'm just saying. Listen, you can tell. Listen, I told you, I've been in retail for a very long time, and you can tell when those handbags get into those thousands of dollars, you can start feeling and looking at that leather. And you can tell the difference.
The calf was raised differently.
I'm telling you, it's coming from
that grass-fed calf.
I'm telling you, it's coming from a different part. They over by themselves. I'm for real. Them over by themselves. Even when you get a bag that's gator too, when you get a bag that's gator, like some companies, that's all they do. Those gators over by themselves, honey.
They living their best life until it's over.
That ain't the one. That's not the ones on Swamp People. That ain't their gators.
Yeah, they didn't mingle with Gatorland. they over here they in a resort. They gonna die, but they in a resort. Because I'm telling you, it's just different. And I would tell people complain about handbags. I don't complain about no woman investing in her handbag because sometimes you can resell these handbags almost the price that you paid for them if they don't have any scratches on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a
So
friend who
that's
does
why
that. She purchases her
Is this
handbags
the
and then
friend that she says I agree
no,
with that?
no.
Oh,
I mean,
the
she
level
has
feels
handbags.
different.
She does
I'm
have.
telling you.
Let me just say this: all of my friends probably have handbags except for me. All of them probably have nice shoes except for me. I'm the one who just like.
you have no business. You need to get it together. Because I will let you know what bag you need to invest in and what shoes you need to invest in. Listen at see that they come from a two. I'm telling you, she know what she talking about. I'm telling you, it's I don't care what
I
anybody
can't. I
says.
can't. They come from a.
All
And that's
right.
what I tell people too. Listen, I was like, I don't buy me no, I don't want no pleather
What
hand.
is wrong with you people? It comes from a two-gator house.
I'm telling you, she know what
Oh
I'm
my
talking about. She know what I'm talking about.
Oh my God. All right.
Okay.
Tanya, we have to let Tanya answer that question because I know she has an opinion on when is it okay to purchase that investment piece and what is that investment piece?
Well, I second that notion of fabulous handbag. Here in New York City, when we had live events and networking events, I joke that women's handbags talk to each other here in New York City. If I'm going from event to event, sometimes I got a backpack on, but then boop, I got that stylish clutch
She in
that I
there.
just pull out so I can check the. And then you're at the event and you notice the women, oh, the Chanels are looking at the Chanels. The Celines are looking at the Celines.
I'm telling you.
This one time, I'm not even kidding you. I finally invested in I love Celine. I'm not a big like logo person.
Oh,
but
girl, I want
like,
one of them too. That yellow one. I want that yellow one, honey.
3 ways to get it. Either on the real,
Yes,
or
I saw
rebag.
that.
Yep. Or have you heard of rebag? REBAG.
Yes.
Rebag. Or you can rent one. Bag, borrow, or steal. Bag, borrow, or steal. So you can get a feel for it, right? So I get my Celine, the only one. I get in a shared car service. I look at the woman next to me. She's got the same trapeze tote, but in a different color. We're like, ooh, look at your bag. Oh, I love this Celine. It opened up this whole conversation.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, just what you said, a fabulous bag. And it doesn't always have to be high-end designer. One of my clients, she loves her Dooney and Burke. Well made, real leather. And when you get that bag, I say it's 2 things. You got to look at function and fashion.
Yeah.
What do you got to fit in there? The laptop, the makeup bag, the everything. Make sure it's real leather. What I say for investment pieces, yes.
Unless you're a vegan or something.
No,
true.
I ain't got nothing to say.
That's true, actually, Christina. There are some very
yes, if you're
ecologically
vegan,
conscious, sustainable.
yes.
But I say in New York City, it's your bag, your coat, and your boots / shoes. And you invest in great shoes, Christina. Okay, Katrina, you got a style coach, Christina.
She already my client, but you know what? She's a Celine girl.
Yeah, Celine.
Yeah, she's a Celine girl because it's the tote. Yeah, but I'll show her some. Yeah, she's a Celine girl.
But let's talk shoes, because what women don't realize, in your 20s and 30s, you're wearing 4-inch high heels, wiggling to the office. You don't know what that's going to do to your feet when you're 40, 50, and 60. I see the shape some of my clients are in, like their feet. Real leather shoes, the right fit, the right pitch, the right comfort. Real leather breathes, it lasts longer, and you also want the real leather lining inside. So I say, if you're going to spend a little more money on certain things in your wardrobe, it's your coat. That thing can last you for 10 years if you invest in a great coat. Your bag and your shoes, and make sure they're real leather. It's going to last longer. And you're taking care of your feet. Your feet.
Well, I ain't gonna talk about these naturalizers I got on right now.
No, naturalizers are so
comfortable though, but
they are very comfortable. Yeah. They're very comfortable. And I got these cute little, right? I even put on my cute little at-home little loafery shoes.
Yeah.
Right? Even when you're working from home, like at the end of the day, kick them off and put on the slippy slippers, right?
Exactly.
But when you're like dressing for that conference call or dressing for work, even on Zoom, head to toe, it counts. But investment pieces, number 1, the bag, hands down. Real leather shoes. That first job or later in life, and that coat. A great coat, bag, and shoes can last you the next 5 to 10 years.
Longer than that, longer than that for sure. I tell Demetri knows I am into shoes, honey. And I know people's like, ooh, I don't like to buy no fakes. Yeah. And I'm like, I was like, if I can't have, I'm like, I don't. And Demetri know I have Manolo Blahnik since maybe 2007. And my shoes still look great. And it's 2020.
I believe it.
And I'll tell people, listen, I done got my cosplay wear out of these shoes. 2007, it's 2020. Exactly. And it's like, oh, you bought those? I sure did, and I still have them in my closet, and they still are beautiful. Yeah. So I believe in buying a really nice shoe as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's a question: it says, can style and comfort exist in the same pair of heels? Because all my shoes hurt my feet.
It can. My favorite shoes are Manolo Blahnik. I can wear those shoes for like 11 to 12 hours. So style and comfort can exist. And if her feet hurt all the time, I think women don't realize if you wear a pair of shoes all day, you don't need to wear those shoes the second day, because all of those pain points that hurt you the first day are going to come back up. So you need to change your shoes every other day. So I say Monday you wear a pair of shoes, Tuesday you wear a different one, and then you make and wear the other shoes back on that you had on Monday. But you need to switch up and at least wear three pair of shoes within a 7-day period. You don't need to wear the same shoes back to back, because those pain points in your feet are going to rise up from you putting on those same shoes again. And I don't think a lot of women realize that. It's like people don't really talk about it, but I know. Yeah. Don't.
So you talked about a couple of sites. You said the real Bag Borrow or Steal, the Real, and what was the other site you mentioned? Rebag. Okay. I want to just type all of that in there in the chat for the people, so y'all can go to these sites and check it out.
And I think that's where my friend sells her bags. And she, in order for her to get a new one, she has to sell one. And so that's her way of keeping herself in check.
Saving money. And to your point, Katrina, I just want to blow your minds with this pump that I discovered. It looks like a Manolo on the outside, and it feels like a sneaker on the inside. It's called Ally Shoes, ALLY. So I was lucky enough to meet the founder. She's based in New York City, because I'm part of this fabulous women's co-working community called Luminary. And when I joined Luminary, the founder said, you have to meet the shoe designer. So her name is Samantha Dong, and she got an injury when she was working in corporate, and she was on the search for the most comfortable pump. She couldn't find it, so she invented it. So she actually worked with a podiatrist. To your point, Katrina, those points on the foot that start feeling the pain point, the big toe goes numb, the instep hurts. So she actually collaborated with a podiatrist, came up with a 3-point system on the inside of the shoe. It feels like, oh my God, it's so cushy and soft, but the outside looks like a Manolo, with the point and the heel.
Well, I need to go there.
Oh, I'll be sharing the affiliate stylist link with you and everything.
I need to see that.
Yeah. So it's called Ally, ALLY. And guess what? When she calls it a nude pump or a beige pump, it's every skin tone: nude, beige, tan, medium brown, light brown, dark brown, every skin tone, every shade, leather or suede. And it's got it's just about a 2.5 inch, not quite 3. I literally wore them when I used to go to live events in New York, but I wore them to a networking event at the end of the day. I went down the subway stairs. I came home, I got up the subway stairs, and I went, wait a minute, I still have the pumps on. I didn't switch into my flats or sneakers. This was a first. So I agree with you. Yes, comfort meets style works. Manolos are exquisitely designed and balanced as well. I agree with you on switching it out. The day you wear the heel, the next day give your feet a break. But I'll be sharing Ally shoes with all of you. It's it's the game changer.
All right. Well, I dropped their website here, and anybody else who you want to, so we'll get ready to kind of close it out. Any like hot tips, tricks? I added your Instagram, where people can follow you on social media. Sterl on Style for Tania, Styles by Katrina. Follow them on social media. They're on all the social media platforms. I know Tania's been doing a whole lot of lives on LinkedIn because that's her ideal client community. That's where they are, those professional women. She's been doing that regularly. Katrina also is on, was on a nationally televised Style Check. And now she's appearing on Afro TV on the Point of View show as a part of their panel of hosts. And so you can find her there on Afro TV as well. So like these ladies are everywhere. Like you can find them everywhere. And what's really cool is they're both doing virtual styling sessions. So you can bring them into your closet no matter where you live. So Tiffany, Rosalind is still on here. Rosalind said Cole Haan have heels with Nike Air Soles. So hey, that's something else to think about. But wherever you are out there, ladies, so people are watching from everywhere. People are going to watch this in the replay. Contact these ladies. Any other way you want people to get in touch with you other than the social media handle?
Oh, well, no, I mean, for me, and I have Katrina at stylesbykatrina.com. So you can also send me an email like that until my appointment stuff starts popping up. So I'll be able to do that pretty soon as well.
Okay. And then Tania, what about you?
Yeah, so if you go to my website, sterlonstyle.com, there's a contact me. You can email me through there. And it starts with I'm sure you start this way too, Katrina. It starts with a 30-minute consultation call. Let's just get to, this isn't like, oh my gosh, thousands of dollars later, what's happening? No, it's about, let's have a conversation. Let's get to know your role, your goal, your lifestyle, and how we can simplify, streamline, save you money. So you can book a free discovery call through my website, sterlonstyle.com.
Okay, fantastic. And both of you, I heard both of you talk about you can make a lot happen with $1,000, but some people might be scared of $1,000. But if you're remaking your whole wardrobe, that is pennies, right?
Right. But also what I say is $1,000 seems like a lot in that one moment. These are the clothes that are lasting you for the next at least 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Divide $1,000 into 12 months. That's less than $100 a month. Divide $1,000 into 3 years. What does that prorate to, right? So it seems like, and again, we work with all budgets, we shop high, low. But that's what I tell them. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm spending, okay, so there's your stylist fee, and then there's the money I have to plan for the shopping. But oh my gosh, I have some clients, I shop for them twice a year. By the following year, they're like, I look at everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everything is still so on trend. I don't even know what to tell this client, to add or shop for. I'm like, wait, I do my job too well. Yeah. After shopping 2 seasons, right? And that budget, spread that out over the year, over 2 years, 3 years. It may seem like it is a little bit more of investment in that first, but think of how long lasting this is.
Absolutely. And then we have a comment here she said, join us for lunch, lady, and have a conversation about styling, how we're dressing in light of our current situation. So tell us about that, Tania.
So Noreen Sumter, I'm so glad she's tuning in. She does a series called Lunch Lady. She does it as a virtual lunch and learn. And she's got, Noreen, when's your dinner? I signed up for it. She's got a Lunch Lady does dinner in 2 weeks. And she's bringing on some fabulous guests. And Katrina, you might be next.
All right.
And Demetria and Christina, I'll connect all you to Noreen. We got a lot of
because Demetria is a life coach too, so they probably should, most definitely get to know each other for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that is what this is all about, making connections. So any final comments you want to say about styling forward for for the year to come. I was I was in the club quarantine with D Nice the other day, and he said, "Hey, we're dressing up on New Year's Eve. We're gonna be in our own house.
Oh, I like
He's
that.
gonna be playing music, but we dressing up and we celebrating just if we going out, right?" And so, any word, and I thought that was awesome. So, any
That's
words
good.
of wisdom, closing advice you want to give to people, like to kind of end this year? I'll start with you, Tania.
Mm-hmm. So you just heard from two fabulous stylists, and everyone's saying, "Oh my gosh, how do I make my style that stylish?" Right? It's just think of your day. Is it downtime? Is it productive time? Is it show time? It's okay to have those days where you're not putting makeup on, where you're not doing your hair. Allow yourself those days. I call them like self-care days, right? Have those couple days of the week where you just got to be behind the scenes, no makeup, just go all natural. But do use your clothes and your style to just re-energize yourself again. Just dress for you. Put on that fun lipstick again. Find that thing you haven't worn. Put on those pretty sparkly clothes for New Year's Eve, even if it's just you over Zoom with your girlfriends. Clothing is an energy. It can comfort you. It can give you confidence. And it's expression. It lights us up. So dare to wear something new.
Awesome. What about you, Katrina?
Oh, for me, I just think this is our new normal, for sure. I think that we should be wiser in all of our decisions when it comes to clothing, because spending unnecessary money it's just really not the time and the place to do that. So I most definitely agree with Tanya. Find the things in your closet first, and if you need help with those, most of the time people need help, and we most definitely can do that. But I also say that you need to get organized if you're not. Because Dimitri and Christina know I always say 2 places you always walk into in your house is your closet and your bathroom. I don't care. Sometimes we can miss the kitchen. I can miss the kitchen all the time. Besides get something to drink because I don't like to cook. But your bathroom and your bedroom, your closet are 2 places that you are going in every single day. And I just feel like with your closet, it has to do with you. It has to do how you project yourself. It has to do with what you think about yourself. And clothing is truly that, an expression of who you are and what you want the world to see you. So I say start with those small things, get it organized. Don't take yourself so serious. Like, calm down. Don't be so critical of yourself. Find the places in your body that you can accentuate, and the things that you don't like, honey, find a way to cover it up so nobody won't see it. And then when you see yourself bare, be like, "Ooh, that little tub is big, but I'm still fine to myself." You got to encourage yourself. You know what I mean? So that's what we have to start doing. We have to start encouraging ourselves. And as women, stop being so critical. It's like we always so critical of each other because we're critical of ourselves. You know what I mean? So that's what I would just most definitely say. So if you got big lips, a big bottom, like for me, people just shocked how big my bottom is. It's big, but we're going to go on. And do what I need to do. But you know what I'm saying? But it's just what it is. At this point, I can't down myself on, no matter how much I work out and all this other stuff, it stays the same. And then if I gain weight, it get bigger. So that's what I'm saying. So we just got to learn to really love ourselves where we are and just be surrounded by people that love us for who we are.
All
that's
right.
it.
What about you, sister? What do you want to say in closing on this conversation?
What a cute self.
Well, I just want to
say, honey.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you all so much. This has been such a fun conversation. I appreciate all the tips that you all have given us, as well as all the laughs, because 2020 has been a tough year, and I would say this week alone my sister and I were talking the other day. This week has been a doozy for us. So, I love a little levity. So thank you so much for that. And I think if we can embrace a little bit more levity going into 2021, that could definitely make the difference in our personal lives and as well as in our professional lives. So I like how you said it, Katrina. Don't take ourselves too seriously. So when we get on these Zoom calls, because I tell you, the other day I had a faux pas on a Zoom call. I was not mic. I didn't have my mic on mute, and like I yelled downstairs, and they heard me, and I, like, for a day and a half, I was just all like really messed up over it, and it's just like,
calm down,
tripping. Yeah,
you like, girl, people been doing that for 10 months, and I do it one time, and you gonna trip on yourself?
Right.
Calm down.
So, yes.
We're gonna let you're gonna lose that perfectionist one day. Calm down, sister.
Thank you. That's for another session. We will talk about that.
I told y'all they act as life coaches too for people. Hey, everybody, this was such a fun conversation. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. I know we went way over, and honey, we can probably keep talking some more. This might need to become a series too. And like you said, 4 times a year is what I heard, right? So for the 4 seasons, and then we kind of add in, mix out, as we go along. This might be a conversation we need to have every season to keep our people on track, because there's no reason why we can't look good all the time. How about that?
Say that again for the people in the back.
There's no reason why we can't look good all the time.
That's what I say all the time, honey. I need to look good, baby.
That's right. So with that being said, we're going to sign up. You ladies hold the line. Let's wave goodbye and good night to everybody. Take care, everybody.
Good night.